welcome to Floyd Models Kit Review time. Today we've got something a little bit different and a little bit cute. We've got the 1/72 Airfix Martlet. No, it's not the Wildcat. This is the predecessor to the Wildcat, which was the Martlet. Now, I know a little bit about this because just down the road from me, we've got RNS Yeovilton. You've got the Fleet Air Arm Museum there, and they've got one of these. But it's even earlier than one of these because it was supposedly ordered for the French. Obviously, the French didn't get it because of the war, and then it went into Royal Navy service. It's the funniest colour you've ever seen, and if I've got some footage, hopefully, you can see the colour of it, and it's a little bit weird. But anyway, this is it. So basically, this is the predecessor to the Wildcat. Okay, so as you say, it's a pretty iconic aircraft. It's been used around a bit, but this is it in the sort of Royal Navy markings we can see down there, and with the US one. Great little boxing, as you can see, and these kits have come such a long way in recent years that really you know, it's like night and day between these kits and the old ones. A couple of things down there. This is one Fleet Air Arm HMS Formidable in 1942 with 888 Naval Air Squadron, and then we've got the other one underneath with the US markings on that one as well, which was Operation Torch 1942, coming off of Formidable as well. Okay, so nice little box. These are quite cute because as well we get a proper box, which means it's the good old thing. I haven't ever looked inside one of these. I've seen them around, to be honest. I'm not going to lie, they look very nice. So we've got Airfix's standard one bag fits all. Okay, and we've got some of the instructions down in here, so we'll have a look. So the instructions are a lot bigger than the box, as you might imagine. So usual thing, blurb about the actual aircraft themselves. Okay, and then going straight in with Airfix's new type of semi-coloured, which I think are a lot better because you can see exactly what's going on with them. So we've got cockpit, usual things, seats, instrument panels, things like that being fitted in. A little bit of spar work going through for the wings. A little bit of interior painting needed to be done because obviously we do have larger windows in the bottom. Removing some of the parts. I said this is the Martlet, but technically it's the Wildcat, so it's using a lot of similar parts because obviously Airfix do the Wildcat as well. Moving on, obviously moving right the way through, as you said, you've got to take care of a few little bits and pieces, but it is pointed out very clearly about that one. And then some of the more internal details, again, lots of details for something that is so small. You know, something like this, when you're looking at 1/72, you're thinking small and basic, but look at the detail we actually get down here. Great use of the actual gear on this. Again, it's quite a complex gear system. It's very visible on the aircraft when it is deployed, and again, Airfix have taken the time to sort of recreate that beautifully right the way as we can see down here. Closing up the fuselage halves, again, making sure you open up a few little holes if you can have it on the stand, things like that. All of that interior detail being placed in there, and then with the engine being fitted in, again, nice detail work on the engine by the looks of it. We can see all of that going through. Then we've got the things about obviously all the tailplane surfaces being put in, the rudder going in there, the wing section, the box fitting on this one. Can we have it folded up? Yes, we can have it folded up. I was just wondering if we could. You can, and we can actually have got some deflection on the ailerons as well, which is beautiful in this scale right the way through. Making your mind up, obviously, if you're going to go deployed or folded up. So if you've got limited room, these are great for folding them up. So as you can see down there, we've got the configuration for having it folded with the wings. Okay, putting those bunks on, control surfaces obviously be fitted because they are not connected, so they sort of flap around in the wind, for want of a better word. Exhaust being fitted onto there, getting the wheels on, bits and pieces just like that. Figure going in, canopy open or closed, I presume you can have, which you can, and then we've got the tail hook being fitted if you want that open or closed, and that is your finished Martlet right the way through. And again, as we were saying, nice colour schemes. Again, if you want to be a bit weird, you can do the restoration one that is down the road from me. That thing is a funny colour. It looks like Airfix painted it with their colours, but apparently that is it. It's been done like the Corsair. It has been taken back to the original paintwork. Decals, again, getting better with every single release, it seems. These aren't seem to be as flat. We've got very limited carrier film around the outsides of the decals as well, so they're looking particularly fine. Catch them in the light. There we go, those are looking very nice indeed. And then we got the all important plastic itself. So again, single bag, yeah, I'd like to see it done a little bit different, but you know, for what we complain about. As you can see, it is a little bit of a tiddler, but there's nothing wrong with that. Great recessed details on this one. So we've got some riveting details. We've got obviously the actual panel lining going right the way through there on this beautiful little aircraft. Tiny little wings, as you can see. But again, look at that detail. Absolutely crisp, nice details right the way through there. All the parts seem to be very nice indeed, as you can see. And then on the inside, obviously lacking in detail, but that makes up for it in absolute buckets in a minute when you actually get all of that internals put in there. Again, nice systems down on all of these. No real flash on any of the parts, which is nice to see. No real burring on any of the parts either. Again, very, very nice. Beautiful, nice mix. So we've got raised details down here. You can feel them, the rivet details and everything else like that, as well as recessed with the actual panel lining. So it's a very nice touch indeed. Other obviously assortments of wings depending between the Martlet and the Wildcat. They've got different gun configurations if I remember correctly, so that's why you get different types of tops of the wings to sort of show all of that. Again, we've got the tyres, the wheels, the various parts pieces. We've got the nice surface detail just down in here. Again, that's absolutely beautiful work for actually if you're going to have it folded up and to sort of have it in the stow configuration. Again, this detail has to be, you know, honestly, I've built a lot of Airfix over the last few months, and this one is absolutely exceptional. Beautiful little detail. This is one of those kits where I would build it tomorrow, you know, I'd have no problem with that at all. This is what we're talking about. This is all the details. So we've got all the different parts being down in here. You might see we've actually got the fabric over the actual rudder, beautifully recreated in this scale, but also on the control surfaces as well. Some real nice attention to detail in this particular kit. Very, very nicely done. Okay, and again right the way down to the pulleys and all the bits and pieces down there on the bulkhead, but just the way that the control surfaces have seemed to be beautiful in scale fabric tension going across them is exceptionally well done. Absolutely love that. But you can see all of those beautiful parts down in there just like that. The engine, again, very nicely recreated, no problem with that at all, and the prop. And actual the cowl, I'm not sure which one it is without looking at the instructions. Okay, but some very nice, just the head down there as well. Beautifully done. That is exceptionally done. You know, when I had a look at this online, when we were getting it in, I had a quick, obviously, scan around and people were describing it as Airfix's little gem was one word I saw. And I have to totally concur with that. This is an absolute beautiful kit. Right the way through. The thing that jumps out to me is how clean and crisp the moulding is on something so small. You know, let's face it, if you can see it behind here, we've just literally finished the full video build on this, which is their beautiful Meteor. And again, the level of detail, and I posted up some images and people have said, oh, is that aftermarket? No, it is all out of the box, and that's what we're saying. Beautifully done right the way down here to these clear parts, which again, because of the scaling and that, you can't really moan too much about them looking thick because they have to be a certain thickness, but these are actually very, very clear, very nicely done indeed. Very clever. And again, the one piece, if you want to use the one piece canopy, and we've got the two piece, so you could always use the one piece for painting purposes and then put the two piece on afterwards with it in the open, or you've got to back up in case you get one wrong. Okay, so very nicely done. Well, I must admit, this is it. I'm really impressed. It's very rare I'll pick up a kit that I will just peer. I've got no idea. I've never looked in the box. I've never seen anyone build it. I just looked on the internet and there it was, and I thought, really want to get something like this in. And it is really, really nice surprise. It looks to be an absolute gem of a kit. The level of detail, the things on some of this is absolutely beautiful. Absolutely stunning. Again, it is Airfix have taking it each step. They're then coming along. Instead of being little baby steps, these are coming leaps and bounds now and really coming along very, very nicely. And as I say, just done the Meteor, and the Meteor is a beautiful kit, fell together as good as Tamiya's. You know, I'm quite happy to put my hand on the heart and say they are that good. And as I said, having a quick look around, people have reported this thing goes together an absolute gem with no real problems at all. So great to see Airfix tackling the smaller stuff as well as the bigger stuff with just equal amounts of enthusiasm for taking care of all the details and the bits and pieces like that. So there we go. This is definitely a must. It's got to be, isn't it? It's the Airfix 1/72 Grumman Martlet Mark IV.